Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We've got an Eastern Front 1v1 for you all on the map Köln, which I believe is Cologne. Anyway, let's go through the players, shall we? We have Valhalla for the Waffen-SS. And we have Kachom, a Soviet shock division. Ooh. And we are fighting in the ruins of a German city. And indeed, it's propaganda tactics. So the Volkssturm are going to be coming in to try to hold the line against the Soviets, pushing into the Germany. It's the final days of the Reich again. We seem to have a lot of matches going on the final days of the Reich these days. It's because they're set in Germany and we see a lot of Volkssturm being called in. Because I don't think Volkssturm would ever have been deployed outside Germany, but I'm not an expert on that, and I'm pretty sure they were not employed outside Germany. It was really a last-ditch effort to try and keep the Allies from winning. I think it was mostly just because the Soviets were pushing so far into Germany so quickly that the Germans needed everything they could. But we're going for full-on Fontoviki by the looks of it instead of conscripts, which is a tactic you can do as the Soviets because Soviets are very versatile. Fontoviki are essentially full-on trained Soviet soldiers who has more than a match generally for the basic infantry of the other factions because these are not conscripts. These people have full-on military training and are properly equipped. It sometimes surprises people that this squad can actually fight them to a standstill early on. And the thing is, the Germans are using Volkssturm, and Volkssturm are not that well trained. They are cheap though. He's going to use this building here to get a good shot on the sappers. Also, Kugelwagen with the 42 is present, suppressing the sappers. They'll have to get out of there. Yes, he just got out of there. He cannot hold that position. He is throwing a grenade though, but that's going to be that sapper squad, I think. But now the Fontoviki are present, and these guys should be able to mow down the Volkssturm in an engagement. Problem is the Volkssturm have the G42 and the Kugelwagen for support. But even that might not be enough, because these guys are exceptionally accurate because they actually train soldiers. We also have some Sturmgrenadiers coming in from the 3rd SS, Totenkopf, that's said as it would be translated to. These guys were Nazis to the core and really bad people. They were actually recruited from concentration camp guards, so these people are horrible, horrible, horrible bastards that deserve to die. Like, there's no question about that. The Totenkopf are some of the worst SS troops you'd ever think of. Just on principle. More Fontoviki present. They killed the gunner on the Kugelwagen, and as you can see, Fontoviki are way better than conscripts are early on, but they are more expensive. They cost the same as regular infantry of other factions. But they will do the stuff for the cost. Problem is the Sturm Pioneers got the upper hand here with the great assaults. We also have some shock Fontoviki coming in. A unique unit that you can get as a shock division, which you can get from the HQ building when you get, I think, 1 command point. I would personally say they should probably cost no command points, so you can use these instead of a normal Fontoviki as shock. But I think that might also make them OP, but I'm not sure. But it would make them interesting like the airborne, where you can pull them out immediately out the gate rather than normal infantry. That way people also know you're a shock a lot faster. Although you can literally just look at the name of the Fontovikian conscripts. But I think this Fontoviki squad is dead, yeah. I think Ketchum is going to have to rely on the shock Fontoviki more. MG08 present, the German machine gun from the First World War. It is a return in form of the Volkssturm. Still a valuable little machine gun despite its age. But now we have these Fontoviki troops armed with SVTs. Now the MG8 should make it so, yeah, the Sturmgrenadiers can push up here and throw a fragmentation grenade. Oh, that's lethal. I don't think that squad is going to get out of that, because these guys are very accurate. And the Soviets are taking heavy losses, but the Soviets can bounce back from taking losses, unlike many other factions. Shock officer has been called in, a lieutenant. We now have the shock troopers present. Neither side so far has fuel. They've both been able to deny, but the Soviets are getting ammunition, and this is advantage. Oh, he's going for double DPM with these guys. That's going to make them exceptionally good at long range. That's a lot of firepower they can pull down. I would personally probably have gone for PPSHs plus a DPM, but that's just my own personal opinion. Double DPM I think might be a little overhand, because the PPSHs would also help in medium to close range combat. But double DPM I can definitely see will be like tearing down the Germans. Oh, I don't think this squad's gonna last much longer with all this fire though. As they're being flanked. Yeah, they have to get out of that. Yeah, also have some more shock troopers being called in. Assault shock troopers. So these guys can be armed entirely with PPSHs if you want. Making them exceptionally good at well assaulting, as the name implies. But this Kugelwagen is definitely providing a lot of mobile fire support for the Volkssturm and the SS holding the city. Or at least this part of the city. But here we have the full-on shock troopers. Can be armed entirely with the PPSH. Truly something terrible to face. Because they can actually suppress with them, because of the sheer volume of firepower. Essentially, if you upgrade them, the entire squad has PPSHs with drum magazines, and it can be felt. You can just feel that it does it. Good attempt with a grenade. Also using cover to the advantage. You always need to be able to use cover. Heavy cover can increase the survivability of even the lowliest squad, as you can see, against the very elite squad. Like the sappers have also held here for a while, thanks to this little statue. But the Sturm Grenadiers are taking the field down here again, armed with an LMG-42. But here comes the Shock Frontoviki armed with double DPM. Right. Shock troopers can also break suppression by using for Stalin a war cry that allowed them to use, as I said, break suppression, so you can get out of issues with them. Yeah, we were double DPM with the Kugelwagen. Oh, that's a lot of firepower right there. A pack has arrived for the Germans, alongside the Untersturmführer, to lead and supervise the battlefield.
Ready. Men, on me. Engineer standing by.
See, the Lieutenant is probably going to have to hold the southern flank himself unless he gets some support. I think the Soviets are taking up. Yes, they're going to go for a support weapons company, which will allow them to get other stuff. We also have a Maxim here for the Soviet shock division. Armed by shock troopers. You can actually arm them with body armor, which actually gives them armor, which is not something infantry normally don't have. Shock troopers are actually the only infantry in the game, and they're smart obviously, with armor, which means they can actually take reduced damage from low enough caliber weapons. I think there needs to be like pistol and submachine gun sized bullets. Against rifle bullets, it will not stop them. But it's a big advantage to have troops that can actually, you know, take bullets and not die instantly, which is very unique to the shock division. A double DPM here will allow them to win out against this Untersturmführer, I think. Oh, Pack tried to hit with a high explosive but overshot. That's lucky. Yeah, you can see double DPM is definitely working out for him in long-range engagements. Yeah, the Volkssturm is going to start feeling the elite of the Soviet vanguard coming in. Soviet shock division is exceptionally, what's the word? Aggressive? It's probably more that they are, well, really good at everything. It's one of the most versatile commanders. It gets good artillery, good infantry, and good tanks. Oh, look at that direct shot with the Pack. Oh, that's horrible. But the Soviets are getting more fuel points. They hold the ruins of the cathedral. And they have also stolen the Kugelwagen with the MG-42. And the MG-08 is still just holding down the center the best it can. You have tons of Volkssturm on the field at the moment. up in defensive locations. The Storm Grenadiers are holding the remains of a factory by the looks of it. He's giving all the access to the Volksturm with grenade assaults, but he's also throwing a Molotov or Bandflasche. The Soviets will have to move those shock troopers out of there. They only lost one man though, and followed by grenade assaults. Cis-3 arriving for the Soviet Union, also manned by shock troopers. I think practically everything is manned by shock troopers if you're playing Shock Division. They need to get rid of that MG08. Problem is, the Germans are covering it. Like their Sturm Pioneers pressing armed with MP40s. Yeah, and they opened here on the flank, which means they're just gonna get mowed down. I think they might get out of there though. Well, the Germans are trying to give chase. But no, he's gonna get out of there. Well, I think these Volksturm are gonna be a little in for a surprise now. Maybe with double DPM mowing them down. Oh god, that's horrible. That's a dead Volksturm squad. Oh, minefield have been laid there by the Volksturm though, because Volksturm can actually lay mines. Now, one drawback to shock troopers you normally don't feel as Soviets is the manpower cost, because shock troopers are not cheap. They are more than elite veteran troops. Well, they're not elite, but they're experienced, which can actually be felt. They're people with a lot more training and a lot better equipped and experienced than other Soviet units. Oh, we also have some third SS veterans coming in. Elite squad you can call in have one in the field at a time. Really powerful squad that can do a lot of work for you, but you have to be very careful with them because they're costly. Like these guys are probably pretty big shitheads that have to be taken out because, well, they're Nazis and they are probably pretty big Nazis at that. Very dedicated to their cruel cause. The Maxim and the shock troops, these have not been armed with PPSHs yet. I guess he's just gonna stick them with SVTs for now. The Soviets have lost a lot of ground again. Yeah, it's not the easiest for the Soviets to get some territory here by the looks of it. Yeah, I think the MP40s will just mow them down there. Shock troopers are trying to get into a position, but now there's veterans and Judasturmführer here, and the MG08 firing on them. That's a lot of firepower. We also have a captain here, Stabs captain. The veterans have been armed with a Panzerstreck. They're meant to be an anti-tank squad by looks of it. Double DPM will open fire on the Volksturm. I think the long run, the double DPMC will cut through. Artillery being called in though. Captain is taking too much fire. He might not get an ability off. And he doesn't. Oh, that's a waste. The Soviets are not doing too well. These veterans are just cutting everything down. Heavy mortar, I think, is being called in. Yeah, that's a heavy mortar.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands. Eyes up! Enemy fire!
Swansvik with double DPM are still trying to hold.
More propaganda is available to be dropped on the
He has used the double DPM on the veterans though.
Enemy forces are capturing our supply.
And it's showing. Goliath being called in. Oh, we'll have a look at that when it comes. Fake artillery. The Soviets are taking heavy losses though from the veteran Understormfire. They even lost one of their EPMs. Goliath. This is essentially a tracked remote control bomb. An exceptionally lethal and ingenious little weapon. Germans had a lot of innovation going on during the war. Okay, DPM came into the Sappers, but I think it might be too late for them. Oh, not. He's actually going to get away. Impressive. But the Soviets are taking too many losses here. Now the problem is the Goliath is probably not going to have anything that can stop it. Because there's no anti-tank weapon for the Soviets at the moment, and it is armored enough to not be penetrated by bullets. Unless it's a very big bullet, like a 50 cal. So I have a feeling the Soviet player is not going to do too well once the Goliath drives in. And the heavy mortar is getting a little bit too close to the front line. Ooh, what's he going to do with it is the question. Oh, he used it as a flare. Okay. That's one way to use it. Oh, he's gonna use a precision shot? Oh, so he is. I didn't do much, but it did hurt them. That's gonna make them more vulnerable to all the other fire. Now, he's used the Goliath as will a mine, as it was often used. Like hiding it in behind some cover or at an important spot and waiting to detonate it. It's a pretty big explosion too. Soviet has enough manpower to get more squads if he needs. He'll probably go for a tank. Goliath is on the move. Oh, he mined the Kubelwagen. Cheeky. And now there's full-on PPSH for these guys. Promise he's running out in the open. That's a Matoska grenade. I think the Goliath might be aiming for the heavy mortar. Yeah, it's been spotted. So that heavy mortar I think is dead. Yeah, he's not gonna get away with it. Because it's too slow. Yeah. And that's what you can do with the Goliath. What a cruel little weapon. More artillery coming in on the Soviets. Another mine. Oh, and the lieutenant got killed too. Oh, that's just a lot of losses in a short amount of time. Oh, that hurts. And the Soviet surrenders. That was a lot of losses very quickly. He's probably investing in some more infantry out, I'd say. Some more shock troopers, potentially. Oh yeah, shock troopers cost 400. They're not cheap. Perhaps a tank or something. There were still some options you could have gotten. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this short one. And I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Bye-bye!